The following is a presentation of RMG Sports, award-winning championship television.
Knoxville, Tennessee is the perfect blend of small-town charm and big city fun. From the arts to sports, from the history to the nightlife, the home of the Volunteers has fun for everyone. Today, the fun shifts to the Tennessee River as Powerboat Superleague begins its 2013 season of racing in the shadow of Neyland Stadium. Buckle up, race fans. Powerboat Superleague racing in Knoxville starts now. Race fans, welcome to Volunteer Landing on the banks of the Tennessee River, where Powerboat Superleague is ready to kick off the 2013 season of racing here in the beautiful city of Knoxville, Tennessee. Hello again, everyone. Alongside of my broadcast partner, Mike Tilton, I'm Jared Romsberg. So proud to be joining you here in Volunteer Country as we kick off the 27th season of racing for Powerboat Superleague. Both of Powerboat Superleague series are here in Knoxville. Last year in the Formula 3 class, it was Rob Rinker taking home the championship. However, in 2013, the door is open for a new champion as Rinker has advanced into the Formula 2 class. Many eyes are on our 2012 Rookie of the Year, Jeff Cristiano from Elk River, Minnesota, as the favorite in this race. Mike Tilton has caught up with JK in the pits. Mike.
Jeff, here in Knoxville, got a great field of boats, and you're the Rookie of the Year coming in, so odds-on favorite would be you, but they've got some other guys and girls that got a target on your back.
Well, yeah, you know, they're all fast. Sam Labanco's coming back this year. Looks good. Saw him in a couple races last year and real tough. Carol Reno and I met earlier this year up in Lakeland, or down in Lakeland, I should say, in Florida. And we split the weekend, first and second, each of us. So I'm not going to hold back because, you know, if you wait a minute, you'll be in second.
Mike, JK, thanks. The Formula 2 series is racing here today. And as with the F3s, we will see a new champion. For the past 2 seasons, Terry Rinker has been the class of the field, putting the Amsoil 10 in the front of nearly every race. Last year, the only driver other than Rinker to win a feature race was Tennessee's own Mark Proffitt. Since Rinker has stepped out of the cockpit to help his son's Formula 2 programs, the door is wide open and Proffitt is looking to capitalize. Mike Tilton is with last year's runner-up in points. Mike.
Mark, last year was pretty good to you, but now all the markers are at 0 again. Nobody has any points. You're in your hometown. They're gunning for you. What's up for 2013 for Mark Proffitt?
Well, we got a new boat. We think's faster than our old one. We're still trying to determine that. The old boat ran real good this morning, but our new boat we think was a little bit faster.
So which one are you going to pick?
Oh, I'm going to run the new boat.
Well, that sounds good. I tell you what, you know, you got a strong field of boats here, and it's all these young guns coming up. The 2 Rinker boys, they're going to be nipping at your heels.
Oh, yeah, the Rinker boys are going to be tough, you know, every race this year. So you can't let your guard down at all.
Thanks, guys. Race fans, we're not even warmed up yet, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Powerboat Superleague's Formula 3 qualifying when we return to Knoxville right after this.
This presentation of Powerboat Superleague Racing in Knoxville is brought to you by Calhoun's, eat local, eat good. By the Boonsday Festival, the largest Labor Day fireworks show in the nation. By Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, serving more than just sizzling steak. By McGee Tyson Airport, learn more at flyknoxville.com. And by King University, be you at King University. This segment of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by Visit Knoxville, where outdoor experiences and urban adventures meet. Learn more at knoxville.org.
Race fans, welcome back to Volunteer Landing here in Knoxville, where Powerboat Superleague is now just minutes away from kicking up the Tennessee River. The Formula 3 series is first on the card today, fans, and they put on a great show during yesterday's qualifying. 44 Sam Labanco was the fastest in time trials and led the field onto the course when the flag dropped. Labanco is a 3-time F3 Series champ, and he blasted off with the lead with last year's F3 Rookie of the Year, Jeff Cristiano, flying up behind him in second. Cristiano had to keep one eye on Labanco and one eye in the mirror as 16 Carol Reno was flying up. Behind them, 50 Dan Bunting and 73 Steve DeNicolantonio were fighting side by side for fourth. Bunting would put the Flex Seal boat into the slot early, but 19 Jeff Larson would join in the fun a lap later. This group went 3 wide on the backstretch, wowing the crowd that had gathered all along the Tennessee River. Bunting was in fourth, but Larson and DeNicolantonio were nipping at his heels the entire race, flying inches apart at speeds well over 75 miles per hour. Meanwhile, up front, 58 Jeff Cristiano had engine trouble outside of turn 2 and surrendered to second place position to Carol Reno, who was more than happy to fly right by. The 44 was way out in front, and Sam Labanco won the first F3 heat race. Cristiano came in on the hook. His qualifying was over. In heat race 2, the inverted field saw Dan Bunting's Flex Seal 50 on the pole when they shot off the dock. But it didn't take the 44 long to get up to the front. Sam Labanco moved alongside of Bunting in turn 3. The two had a drag race to turn 1 down the front stretch as the field went side by side behind them. Labanco powered the Flackbait 44 into the lead as they came to the first pin. Carol Reno and Jeff Larson followed them through. Soon, Reno pulled up alongside of Bunting to fight for second. The Iron Maiden knows her way to the front, but Bunting was going to make her work for it the whole way and would not give an inch. Bunting held his ground into turn 3, but Reno took the inside line and gained an immediate advantage in the fight out of turn 4. The Flex Seal 50 stayed close to the Everglades Seasoning 16, but Reno had the inside line and some impressive horsepower and was able to shake Bunting off in turns 1 and 2. Reno now had her sights set on the leader, Sam Labanco, but he was way off on the horizon. 19 Jeff Larson and 73 Steve DeNicolantonio were at it again, putting on a side-by-side show for the fans. Steve DeNick had the inside line, but Larson had the momentum and horsepower and would win this fight, taking the 4th place slot as the two blasted down the backstretch of this liquid speedway on the Tennessee River. All of this meant nothing to the 44 as Sam Labanco cruised to victory in heat race 2. With qualifying now complete, let's meet the top 3 qualifiers for Powerboat Superleague's Formula 3 feature race here on the Tennessee River in Knoxville. Columbus, Ohio's Dan Bunting starts the Flex Seal 50 in 3rd. He's happy with his qualifying, but knows there's lots of work to be done.
The first heat, we were the last boat to start on the dock. We moved it up to 3rd place. When we came back out for the second heat, it was inverted, so we started first. And Sam Labanco is pretty fast today, so he got around me, and out of nowhere, Carol Reno, she got in front of me too, and I tried to catch her and it was getting close, but couldn't do it.
The Iron Maiden, Carol Reno from Okeechobee, Florida, starts second. She knows she has her work cut out for her trying to get around the pole sitter.
Yeah, he's good. I kept trying to get closer and closer, but he just kept inching further and further, but he's a great driver. I beat him once, and I'm wanting to do it again.
And starting on the pole is Northbrook, Illinois, Sam Labanco. He's got a lot of respect for the lady starting to his right on the dock.
Well, she can really handle that boat. You know, we were testing together, and I thought we were running exactly the same, so I thought, oh, we've got some homework to do yet. No, she's really good.
Now here's how the rest of the field will line up for Powerboat Superleague's Formula 3 feature here in Knoxville. Coon Rapids, Minnesota's Jeff Larson earned the 4th place slot on the dock. Starting 5th is Longboat Key, Florida's Steve DeNicolantonio into 73. In 6th, we find our 2012 F3 Rookie of the Year, Jeff Cristiano from Elk River, Minnesota. Jeff Vasco from Logan, Ohio will start 7th if he can repair his engine since he struck some debris in the water. They're making their way down the Tennessee to Volunteer Landing. Race fans, don't move. Powerboat Superleague's Formula 3 feature race in Knoxville is coming up right after this.
This segment of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by Visit Knoxville, where outdoor experiences and urban adventures meet. Learn more at knoxville.org.
Race fans, welcome back to Knoxville, where we are now just seconds away from the start of Powerboat Superleague's Formula 3 feature race here at Volunteer Landing on the Tennessee River. A change in the lineup, fans. Dan Bunting had a family emergency and had to leave the race. Jeff Vasco will hop into the Flex Seal 50. We now go dockside to Volunteer Landing, where the Formula 3 fleet is in position. You can hear the fuel pumps are on. The fingers are on the trigger. All eyes are on the flagman as we wait for the drop of the flag. The flag drops. The fleet is away, and for the first time in 13 years, Powerboat Superleague is racing in Knoxville. Side-by-side battle for the lead as Carol Reno moves to the outside of Sam Labanco, but he pulls away. Now they're going to line up 3 wide behind Labanco. Carol Reno takes second, but it's Jeff Frusciano and Steve DiNicolantonio behind her. They're looking to go side-by-side as they fly out of turn 4. There goes Labanco in the lead. Side-by-side battle for third with Jeff Frusciano taking the position now, but look at Sam Labanco. Our 3-time champion has ignited the afterburners early, and he's rocketing down the Tennessee River. Carol Reno tries to catch up to Labanco as she hugs right around that first turn buoy. Jeff Frusciano now only about 4 boat lengths back. He's trying to pick up some steam on the outside, and he does. He's moved out to the clean water, the wake-free water to the outside. He's trying to make up some ground on our second place, Carol Reno, in the silver 16. The Iron Maiden through turn 3 now. She's trying to make some ground on Sam Labanco, and look like she does. They're going to try to go side-by-side for the lead as they come down the front stretch. Jeff Frusciano's looming large in Carol Reno's rearview mirror as Sam Labanco once again skedaddles with the lead. Carol Reno in second going into turn 1, and Jeff Frusciano, wow, he is hugging those buoys. He's trying to get the inside line on a veteran driver, Reno. You can see he's pulling up on the inside of her, but she blasts away down the backstretch. Frusciano now moves to the outside through the rooster tail created by the Everglades Seasoning 16. Frusciano making some ground. Battle for second now coming out of turn 4. Jeff Frusciano in the Pilot 58. Look at the horsepower, gang. He's catching up to that silver 16 of Carol Reno in second. Veteran driver Carol Reno's been working hard trying to catch up to that leader, Sam Labanco, in the white 44, but Jeff Frusciano really starting to pester her, coming now out of turn 2. That little white dot on the horizon, that's our leader, Sam Labanco, checking out early. Only 3 laps into this feature race, gang, and he's got nearly a half a straightaways length lead over second place Carol Reno. You can see her back there, still dealing with the 58 of Jeff Frusciano, but this guy doesn't care. Sam Labanco way out in front and keeps extending his lead as the 2 battle for the second place spot behind him. Labanco now midway down the backstretch. Carol Reno now just entering the backstretch out of turn 2 as she lifts the Everglades Seasoning 16 boat out of the water. Flex Seal 50, driven by Jeff Vasco, a rookie in Powerboat Superleague competition this year, smartly moves to the outside, lets the faster boats by. And speaking of faster boats, look at Jeff Frusciano. He's catching up to Carol Reno. Jeff Frusciano in the Pilot 58, Rookie of the Year in Powerboat Superleague Formula 3 competition last year, gang. And man, he's showing off to the fans in Knoxville. He's now within 2 boat lengths, and now he's trying to get that inside line, coveted territory in racing. But Carol Reno immediately slams the door. She says, "That's my lane, sir, and I'm going to hold on to it." Carol Reno in second, Jeff Frusciano in third, and he keeps creeping up on her as they come into the turns. Now just 2 boat lengths away. He maintains his momentum once again, tries to take the inside line. Carol Reno just hits the throttle, powers down the front stretch, keeping Jeff Frusciano back in the 3rd place slot for now. Jeff Frusciano is one of the many Minnesota drivers we have in the fleet. Here's another one, Jeff Larson, not having the kind of day he was hoping for, gang. His engine conked out shortly after the start. He had to move to the middle of the race course, got it fired back up, but it was too late. Larson now riding in last place. Here's our 4th place driver, Longboat Key, Florida, Steve DiNicolantonio. Another one of the veteran racers we have in Powerboat Superleague Formula 3 competition. He and Jeff Larson put on a whale of a show yesterday in the qualifying heats, gang, going side by side, lap after lap. Unfortunately, this is just a good show for the fans because Jeff Larson's a lap down. Steve DiNicolantonio just trying to move around him safely, keep things under green as we are now approaching the halfway point of this 15-lap Formula 3 feature race. There's our leader, Sam Labanco, in the white 44, now coming under the Gay Street Bridge, lifting it up, putting the throttle down. We're going to let you ride along with the leader as we go out to a break. Sam Labanco has this one well in hand, but we're only halfway through, gang. More Formula 3 racing from Knoxville when we come back right after this.
This segment of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by Visit Knoxville. where outdoor experiences and urban adventures meet. Learn more at knoxville.org.
Race fans, welcome back to Powerboat Superleague's Formula 3 feature race here on the Tennessee River in Knoxville, where we're bringing you back right in the middle of a fight for second. Carol Reno in a silver 16 currently in second, but Jeff Brishano in the orange 58 is starting to power up alongside of her as they are working their way through lapped boats now. Carol Reno on the inside. Jeff Brishano is going to try to thread the needle behind the Flex Seal 50. And whoa, look at him lift that boat. Ho, ho, 2-3 times up out of the water, almost blowing the Pilot 58 boat over as he is trying mightily as Jeff Brishano trying to catch up to the second place Carol Reno. 5 laps remain in this 15-lap feature, gang, and Jeff Brishano, he might need every lap, because I can tell you right now, Carol Reno is not going to give that second place slot up very easily. We ride along with Brishano now as he comes out of turn 4, lifts the boat out of the water. You can see he is looming large in the rearview mirror of Carol Reno. Jeff Brishano, a former champion in offshore boat racing, now in tunnel hull racing, trying to get a championship there as we look at a 3-time champion, Sam Labanco, so far out in front, gang. I think he's in a different area code now. Labanco, like he's done so many times, taking the entire fleet to school today. He was the fast qualifier in time trials, and he won both heat races yesterday. And a young man who should have his pen and paper out taking notes is Jeff Vasco, who stepped into the cockpit of Dan Bunting's Flex Seal 50 when Dan had to leave the race due to a family emergency. But we have a battle shaping up now for second as Jeff Brishano has pulled within 2 boat lengths. He's going to try to thread the needle. He gets around. Oh my, contact, turn 2. Jeff Brishano just muscled his way literally alongside of Carol Reno and these two are now going to go side by side down the backstretch. Jeff Brishano throwing shoulders, throwing haymakers out there as he moved the Pilot 58 rather violently right alongside of Carol Reno and pushed his way into the second place slot. Let's take a look as we ride along with Carol Reno. Here comes Brishano on the inside. Oh wow, what a solid hit by Jeff Brishano as he literally rubbed his way up alongside of Reno, right on top of Reno. Right on board now, looking out the back of Carol Reno's boat. Man, Reno took a hard hit on that one, but she's still going. The Iron Maiden, no quitting this lady. Riding back in third, trying to catch up to that orange Pilot 58 of Jeff Brishano. Hey, she'll get up there and throw some haymakers around too. She has to get up there. You can see she's lifting the Everglades Seasoning 16 boat straight up out of the water, doing what she can, but the white flag is out. 1 lap to go, and we can see the white 44 of Sam Labanco. Man, all that fighting not even on his radar screen. He's so far out in front. Here he comes through turns 3 and 4 one more time. Our 3-time Formula 3 Series champion completes a weekend of absolute domination as the fans along Volunteer Landing, all along the Tennessee here in Knoxville, are on their feet, right along with the winner. Sam Labanco wins the Formula 3 feature race here on the Tennessee River in Knoxville. Jeff Brishano crosses the line in second. Carol Reno's third. Gang, don't move a muscle. The Formula 3 post-race show is next. Race fans, welcome back to Volunteer Landing here in Knoxville, where just minutes ago, our winner of the Formula 3 feature race, Sam Labanco, went around and thanked the fans on his victory lap. We welcome you now, fans, to the Visit Knoxville post-race show. Visit Knoxville, where outdoor experiences and urban adventures meet. Learn more at knoxville.org. As I said, Sam Labanco's the big winner, but the fight of the race was for second, and Mike Tilton is standing by with our 3rd place finisher. Mike.
Carol, 3rd place here in Knoxville. I tell you what, you had a great battle with Jeff Brishano the whole race. Lap number 13 wasn't too lucky for you.
No, it wasn't too lucky, but it was a fun race. I love racing that way where you got competition, whether you're in front or back. It makes you drive harder, and I was giving it my best.
I know you had a lot of fun out there.
Oh, it was a good time. Great water, great people, all my friends here cheering me on, doing good.
Carol, Mike, thank you. Steve DeNicolantonio finished 4th, but all eyes were on that battle for the 2nd place slot. Here's Mike with our runner-up. Mike.
Jeff, 2nd place here in Knoxville, and I tell you what, you had a tough time at that race because that young lady that was in front of you was pushing the issue all over that race course.
Oh yeah, I couldn't find an opening the whole day with her. She, as usual, drove a great race.
Well, 2nd place, really good at the initial event here in Knoxville. We'll be back here next year. We'll have more and merrier times. And I tell you what, today was much different from yesterday.
Oh yeah, I mean, we had some prop problems yesterday. We went with what we had today. It wasn't quite right for this course, but you know, we squeaked it out at the end, and we rubbed each other, but you know what they say, rubbing's racing.
After his win here in Knoxville, a familiar name sits on top of the points. And now Mike Tilton is standing by in victory lane with our winner in Knoxville. Mike.
Sam, good weekend of racing for you. You haven't raced but once in 2 years. Pretty good way to come back.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I mean, we worked so hard to get here, and everything worked. It was a great race course, and yeah, got to make you happy when all things go well.
Well, it sounds like those twin grandbabies, brand spanking new, brought you some luck.
They sure did. I'm sure they did, and I can't wait to get back to them. You know, my son really, you know, he's pretty busy with those kids, so it was a lot for him to help me out too. And without him, you know, we don't show up. So yeah, he did really good to be here. Really helped.
Congratulations to Sam Labanco. Fans, don't move a muscle. We're only halfway done. The Formula 2s kick up the Tennessee and Knoxville when we come back after this.
This segment of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by Visit Knoxville, where outdoor experiences and urban adventures meet. Learn more at knoxville.org.
Welcome back to Volunteer Landing in Knoxville, race fans, where Powerboat Superleague Racing continues here on the Tennessee River. While we take a quick break for the star of Knoxville to pass by, take a look at this. Vintage powerboats were on hand, tearing up the Tennessee River here in Knoxville. Roger Hinsdale, Bill Edwards, Steve Larkin, and Rainer Blair were on hand with their classic rocket ships, entertaining the fans up and down the Tennessee. If these boats could talk, I'm sure they could tell so many stories of great boat racing in years gone by. The sounds of these engines echoed throughout the streets of Knoxville. Many thanks to Roger, Bill, Steve, and Rainer for bringing a little slice of boat racing history to this fantastic event in Knoxville. Now it's time for highlights of Powerboat Superleague's Formula 2 qualifying. In the SST 120 group of Formula 2s, 80, Brent Dillard was the fastest in time trials and led the field as they hurtled onto the course. Ashton Rinker in the Amsoil 20 stayed right in his hip pocket as they flew through turns 3 and 4. Dillard jammed the gas and the Dillard Financial Planning boat roared down the front stretch with Rinker and 34 Jeff Reno in tow. Rinker did everything he could to catch up to the 80, but he had to be mindful of the silver and blue 34 of Jeff Reno behind him. They don't call Reno Jeff the Jet for nothing. Dillard stayed in front and won the first SST 120 heat race in dominating fashion, leading every lap and taking the checkered with ease. In the second SST 120 heat race, 20 Ashton Rinker and 34 Jeff Reno fought for the early lead. Rinker escaped from turn 4 with the front spot, but Brent Dillard came roaring up to say hello seconds later. These two rivals dazzled the crowd with a side-by-side fight all the way down the backstretch at speeds approaching 120 miles per hour. It was almost like a game of chicken to see who would let up first as they got closer to the turn 3 buoy. Dillard stayed on the gas, but he went way wide out of turn 4 and Rinker blasted away. Dillard worked to get close to Rinker, but he again went wide, this time in turn 2, and had to briefly contend with 34 Jeff Reno for second. Heat Race 2 would end under caution as the 66 Fast Apps boat of Dana Toms had come to a stop on the race course. This gave Ashton Rinker the victory in the second SST 120 heat. So with the 120s qualifying complete, here's how the boats in this class will line up for the Formula 2 feature race here in Knoxville. Stout, Ohio's Jerry Gwynn did not race in the heats and will start 6th on the dock. Dana Toms from Lesage, West Virginia has the Fast App 66 in slot 5. Powerboat Superleague rookie Jeff Ludwig from St. Petersburg, Florida will start 4th. In 3rd on the dock, we find the pride of Okeechobee, Florida, Jeff the Jet Reno. Riverview, Florida's Ashton Rinker in the Amsoil 20 earned the 2nd place position. And starting on the pole, we find Dalzell, South Carolina's Brent Dillard. He knows he needs to have a solid plan to get to victory circle.
Strategy is have a great course, have some smooth water, get around there quick. I hope I jump off the start, get in the 1st place, and stay there the whole race, all 30 laps.
The SST 200 boats are also racing in the Formula 2 series, and 30 Rob Rinker was on the point for their first heat race. Their 4 wide side-by-side battle ended out of turn 4, with Jacksboro, Tennessee's Mark Profit leading the pack as he blasted the Marine Contractors 27 down the front stretch. The rest of the fleet came blasting up with a 3-wide battle through turns 1 and 2, with Rob Brinker lurching ahead of 32 Merv Bjork for the second place slot. Soon, Rob DiNicolantonio joined the fight for third, bringing the Bubba Burger 33 alongside of Bjork as they screamed down the front stretch into turn 1. Both boats held their line, and the Total Medical Supply 32 moved ahead. Mark Profit seemed to be cruising to victory, but Rob Brinker in the Amsoil 30 wasn't about to give up and filled Profit's mirrors with bright yellow the entire race as he fought to catch up. But no one had an answer for the Marine Contractors 27, and Mark Profit won the first SST 200 heat race. In the second heat race, Mark Profit was on the pole and wasted little time launching the 27 boat into the lead. While Profit shot away with the front spot, 32 Merv Bjork was in hot pursuit, with 30 Rob Brinker staying nearby in third as these two flew down the backstretch. For lap after lap, these two battled for the second place slot. But this fight got a little too heavy, and Brinker found himself upside down in the Tennessee River in turn 3. The Powerboat Superleague safety crew was there in seconds to help Rob out. Brinker was brought back to the dock and was A-OK. The Amsoil 30 boat, well, that was going to need some work. So with their heat race ending under caution, here's how the SST 200s will line up for the Formula 2 feature race here in Knoxville. Lakeland, Florida's Rob DiNicolantonio has the Bubba Burger 33 starting fourth. If he can get it back together, Tampa, Florida's Rob Brinker has the Amsoil 30 in slot 3. Merv Bjork from Zimmerman, Minnesota has the Total Medical Supply 32 starting second. And the SST 200 boat in slot 1 on the dock is Jacksboro, Tennessee's Mark Profit. He's pumped to be racing near his hometown.
Oh, yeah, it was really exciting to win both heats. Our one-lap qualifier, we struggled a little bit with it. Couldn't get the boat to set down the corner, and it hooked a little bit on me. We couldn't decide for sure which boat to pick, so we decided to go with the new one, and we was worried when it hooked that it wasn't the right choice, but it turned out to be the right choice at the end.
Race fans, they're getting drivers strapped into the cockpit. They're putting boats back out onto the water. The fleet is making its way down the Tennessee River to Volunteer Landing. Don't move a muscle, race fans. Powerboat Superleague's Formula 2 feature race in Knoxville begins right after this.
This segment of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by Visit Knoxville, where outdoor experiences and urban adventures meet. Learn more at knoxville.org.
Race fans, welcome back to Volunteer Landing here in Knoxville, where the crowd is gathering along the Tennessee River because we are now just seconds away from the start of Powerboat Superleague's Formula 2 feature here in Knoxville. Brent Dillard is your overall pole sitter, qualifying first in the SST 120s. Your top 200 boat is Mark Profit back in 7th, but we'll wait and see how long that lasts because now we are dockside. The fuel pumps are on, the canopies are closed, the fingers are on the trigger. All eyes are now on the flagman as we wait for the drop of the flag. The 120 group is away, and the 200 group is away, and Powerboat Superleague's Formula 2 feature race is underway in Knoxville. Side by side, battle for the lead. Ashton Rinker on the outside of Brent Dillard as they scream into turn 3. Dillard holds the inside line. Here comes Rinker. He tries to take the inside line, lines up right behind Brent Dillard, who has hit the afterburners early as the Dillard Financial Planning 80 boat rockets out to the lead as we cross the line to start lap 1 of this 30-lap main event in Knoxville. Brent Dillard takes off with the lead. There's Ashton Rinker in second. Side-by-side battle for third. Mark Profit on the outside. Jeff Reno on the inside. Side-by-side battle for the third place slot. 115 miles an hour as they fly into turn 3. Profit drops down into the first slot, shuts the door on Jeff Reno. Reno has to go wide. Here comes Rob DiNicolantonio in the Bubba Burger 33. Side-by-side battle for fourth now. Rob DiNicolantonio on the inside. Jeff Reno on the outside. As these two have a drag race now into turn 1. Reno wins the drag race, but he goes wide. DiNicolantonio squeezes on the inside. Side-by-side battle continues down the backstretch. The fourth place slot is up for grabs now as two Floridians go nose to nose. It's another drag race, this time into turn 3. Reno wins the race, but DiNicolantonio holds the turn, rips the Bubba Burger 33 around turn 4, and moves into the fourth place slot. Action hot and heavy here in Knoxville in the early laps of this 30-lap feature. Jeff Reno continuing to pester Rob DeNicolantonio for that 4th place slot. But Robbie D hits the gas down the backstretch and disappears with slot number 4, 3 laps into this 30-lap race. Right along with DeNicolantonio, you can see our leader, Brent Dillard, now halfway down the front stretch. And DeNicolantonio just now leaving turn 4. Dillard checking out early. Oh no, Merv Bjork. Merv Bjork has trouble and is checked out of the race. His canopy is up. That's going to make Bjork's ride back to Zimmerman, Minnesota that much more difficult. This guy's having a great day. Brent Dillard way out in front, now in turn 3, right on board, right in the cockpit with your race leader. Oh, we see Ashton Rinker. Ashton Rinker had trouble in turn 4. Here comes Mark Profit. He's got to get around the lap boat of 81, Tom Ludwig, and he does. And now they're going to try to go side by side for second. Ashton Rinker in the white, AMSOIL 20. Here comes Mark Profit in the black, Marine Contractor 27. Oh, he's pulled to within 3 boat lengths, now 4 boat lengths, and he's starting to pick up some ground as we ride on board with Mark Profit. Battle for second as they go under the Gay Street Bridge and fly into turn 3. Ashton Rinker, brother of Rob Rinker, who could not make it into the race, barrel rolled his boat in the heat races, so he's out of the race. And now brother Ashton's gonna have to contend with Mark Profit as they're gonna go side by side, splitting the bridge. Here they go side by side, battle for second as they cross the line. Drag race to turn 1. Oh, and oh, Ashton comes wide. He comes wide out of turn 1 and now into turn 2. He chased Mark Profit back, but Profit now, he's catching up to him. Side by side battle ensues as they fly down the backstretch and head into turn 3. Ashton Rinker, son of Terry Rinker, 2-time champion here in Powerboat Superleague's Formula 2 class, but he now has his work cut out for him as Mark Profit is coming on strong again. Here they go. Battle down the front stretch with the lap boat of Dana Toms possibly in their way. No, he moves out to the side. Mark Profit gets caught in the prop wash of Ashton Rinker's boat, pulling this battle off slightly, but you can see that Ashton Rinker doing his best to get away from that black 27 that just keeps getting larger and larger in his rearview mirrors. Oh, that time Profit went a little wide out of turn 4, trying to maintain some momentum, and he shifted to the inside line. Let's see if Ashton lets him hold on to that line as this battle for second continues as they go into turn 1. Fans on the shoreline all across Volunteer Landing loving this battle, having a blast here in Knoxville. Powerboat Superleague's first trip to Knoxville in 13 years, and they are not disappointing as the Formula 2 class continues to put on a fantastic show for all the fans here in the great city of Knoxville. Many of the fans on the shoreline are rooting for this guy, 27, Mark Profit. This is his hometown race. He's from nearby Jacksboro, Tennessee. He's the lone volunteer in the fleet today. As we see our leader now, midway down the backstretch, checking out early, moving his way through the lap boats. Brent Dillard from Dalzell, South Carolina is your leader. Dillard is a veteran boat racer. He is a 3-time champion in Powerboat Superleague's Formula 3 series. This is his 2nd year with the Formula 2s. Last year he struggled a bit, finishing a disappointing 6th in SST 120 points. As we ride along with 2nd place Ashton Rinker, you can see the orange 80 boat now leaving turn 2. That's the size of the lead he has over our 2nd place driver, Ashton Rinker. Rinker trying to improve on his 2012 season. He was Rookie of the Year last year, but he's looking to move up and be a champion like his dad was here in Powerboat Superleague's Formula 2 class. I tell you what, he better get on his horse because that black 27, that Marine Contractors boat driven by Mark Profit, once again starting to get bigger and bigger in the rearview mirrors of Ashton Rinker's AMSOIL 20 boat. Rinker now out of 1 into 2, out of 2 now on the backstretch, and you can see here he is lurking in the background, the black 27 of the local favorite, Mark Profit. Now only about 4 boat lengths behind Ashton Rinker. Let's see what happens as they go through turns 3 and 4. Profit rips it right at the apex, trying to get around, get some advantage. On to 2nd place, Ashton Rinker in the AMSOIL 20 as they scream down the front stretch. 2nd place is on the front stretch. The leader is already on the back stretch, and we'll ride out with Brent Dillard as we head to a break. More Powerboat Superleague racing from Knoxville right after this.
This segment of Powerboat Superleague Racing is brought to you by Visit Knoxville, where outdoor experiences and urban adventures meet. Learn more at knoxville.org.
Race fans, welcome back to the Tennessee River here in Knoxville for Powerboat Superleague's Formula 2 feature race. Riding on board our 5th place boat, Jeff Reno from Okeechobee, Florida. And gang, you can see it is not a smooth ride out there on the Tennessee River by any stretch of the imagination. And right behind our 5th place driver is our leader, the vibrant thing from Dalzell, South Carolina, 80, Brent Dillard. The Dillard Financial Planning team dominating this weekend in Knoxville. They were the fastest in time trials, won both heat races in the SST 120 class with ease, it seemed. And now here they are leading this race, leading every lap of this race, and we are almost two-thirds of the way through this 30-lap feature in Knoxville. And now we go to turn 3 where we have a side-by-side battle for third. Mark Profit on the outside and Rob DeNicolantonio on the inside. Tries to get that Bubba Burger 33 boat on the inside of Mark Profit. He snuck up on him there. Profit has been working hard to catch up to our 2nd place driver, 20, Ashton Brinker. And here comes Robbie D. Rob DeNicolantonio. You can see that yellow snout of the 33 Bubba Burger boat now catching up, riding through the prop wash, getting out into some clean water, some wake-free water as they scream down the backstretch. Mark Profit riding in 3rd, Rob DeNicolantonio in 4th. Now they have to weave their way through the lap traffic. Both boats make it through, and Rob DeNicolantonio now takes that inside line, but you can see Mark Profit shift to the left of the bridge support and try to maintain ownership of that inside line. As I said, race fans, inside groove of this rectangular course, of any rectangular course, preferred territory, very valuable real estate in any type of racing. As we ride along with Brent Dillard now, he's already coming out of turn 4 and on the front stretch. He got around Jeff Reno a few moments ago, putting our 5th place driver a lap down. And now the battle for 3rd is heated up again as Rob DeNicolantonio has moved to the outside of Mark Profit. He's trying to move up on the outside, trying to go side by side as they come into turn 1. Profit holds the inside line. Here comes Robbie D. He's trying to shoot the inside, can't do it, has to move to the outside. He's trying to pull up alongside on the outside. Mark Profit doing his best, making Rob DeNicolantonio work for it. Profit continues to hold that inside line, and makes a perfect turn there in turn 3. Now out of turn 4, working hard to keep that inside line. You can see he moves right back down, does not want to surrender that territory as he's now starting to creep up on our 2nd place boat of 20, Ashton Rigger. Here comes Robbie D on the outside. Rob DeNicolantonio is catching up to Mark Profit as they come into the turn. Now Robbie D moves to the inside. He's trying to take that inside line. They're going to try to go up and side by side, but here goes Profit. Profit pinching him down. Side by side as they go into turn 3. 110 miles an hour, gang. Boy, they got to blow up. Here they go. Side by side, inches apart. Whoa, here goes Robbie D, almost blows it over in the prop wash of Mark Profit as they fly down the front stretch. Mark Profit again holding that inside groove, forcing Rob DeNicolantonio to go on the outside, but DeNicolantonio has shown some serious horsepower, and Robbie D rounded that turn perfectly. Now he has the inside line. Mark Profit's going to have to pinch him down again as Rob DeNicolantonio continues his assault on Mark Profit for the 3rd place slide. Profit has a little bit of trouble in turn 4. Robbie D now moves to the inside. He's got the inside line. Side by side battle for 3rd as Profit moves ahead, tries to shut the door, but Robbie D says no. He puts his foot in it. Here they go into turn 1. Oh, and Mark Profit hits that turn, does it expertly, moves to the inside of Jeff Reno, the 5th place boat. It's a lap down. Now here comes Rob DeNicolantonio. He's got to deal with trying to catch up to Profit and somehow get around the lap boat of Jeff Reno as they sail down the backstretch into turn 3. Oh, DeNicolantonio lifted that boat up out of the water. He's got to be careful. Does not want to barrel roll that boat through the turns. As we ride along with our 5th place driver, Jeff Reno, we see 3rd place, Mark Profit, and there's 4th place, Rob DeNicolantonio right on his 6th. Jeff Reno moves to the outside, lets these two guys go. He says, I'm going to watch this fight from the sideline. As Rob DeNicolantonio in the Bubba Burger 33 continues his pursuit of that Marine Contractors 27. There's the leader, Brent Dillard. Everybody else is all the way back in turn 4. Dillard's in turn 1 and now turn 2. Hammered down the backstretch. Dillard having a fantastic weekend. As we said, he's dominated every race he's run this weekend. Dillard is showing vast improvement from last year. We saw some signs of this at the season finale in Memphis last year, fans. when Brent Dillard took on our champion, Terry Rinker, and is one of only a handful of drivers to beat Rinker, albeit only a heat race. It's still a major accomplishment to beat Terry Rinker. And speaking of Terry, here's his son Ashton riding in second in the AMSOIL 20. Ashton Rinker, veteran of the United States Marine Corps, recently discharged. He fought in Afghanistan and now he's back home fighting the waters of the Tennessee River, doing battle with drivers like this guy, Mark Proffitt, the hometown kid, the hometown favorite from nearby Jacksboro, Tennessee. Mark Proffitt, driver of the Marine Contractors 27, having a fantastic day. He qualified first on the dock in the SST 200 class, and he's currently first when it comes to those boats. Riding in second in that class and fourth overall is this guy, Rob DeNicolantonio, in the Bubba Burger 33. He is struggling mightily, trying to catch up to Mark Proffitt, but you can see Proffitt already on his way down the backstretch. With 3 laps to go, our leader, Brent Dillard, has a very comfortable lead. He's now out of turn 4 and on the front stretch. What else can we say about the Vibrant thing? We've seen him do this time after time in the Formula 3 ranks. He dominated for 3 years, earning 3 consecutive Formula 3 titles here in Powerboat Superleague. Now it looks like he's trying to repeat that type of strategy here in the Formula 2 class. And he's off to nothing short of a stellar start with that plan here in 2013 at our first race for Powerboat Superleague's Formula 2 class here in Knoxville. Brent Dillard sailing down the front stretch now. He's going to come across the line and see the white flag. 1 more lap to go, and the battle for second has heated up again as Mark Proffitt has moved to the outside of Ashton Rinker. Rinker on the inside, Mark Proffitt on the outside. Side-by-side battle as they fly into turn 1. Rinker holds the inside line in the AMSOIL 20. Here comes the Black Marine Contractors 27, trying to catch up as they both weave through some last-minute lap traffic. But here comes Proffitt. He's threading the needle. Side-by-side battle for second on the final lap. 1 more set of turns to go. They have a lapped boat in front of them. We watch Brent Dillard as he crosses the line and wins the Formula 2 feature in Knoxville. And now all eyes will shift back to turn 2. Here they come down the front stretch. Side-by-side for second, right to the line. Photo finish for second. Oh, and Ashton Rinker is going to hold the position by a coat of paint on the end of the nose of the AMSOIL 20. Wow, what a finish to the Formula 2 feature race. We ride out with our winner. The F2 post-race show from Knoxville is next.
This presentation of 2013 Powerboat Superleague Racing in Knoxville was brought to you by McGee Tyson Airport. Learn more at flyknoxville.com. By King University. Be you at King University. By Calhoun's. Eat local, eat good. By the Boonsday Festival, the largest Labor Day fireworks show in the nation. And by Bristol Motor Speedway. There's racing, and then there's Bristol.
Race fans, welcome back to Knoxville, where we're riding along with a very happy Formula 2 boat racer, your winner in Knoxville, Brent Dillard, as we welcome you to the Visit Knoxville post-race show. Visit Knoxville, where outdoor experiences and urban adventures meet. Learn more at knoxville.org. Here's a quick look at how they finished, race fans. Mike Tilton is standing by with our third-place finisher. Mike.
Mark, third place overall, but number 1 in SST 200 here in pretty much your hometown race course. Got to feel good.
Yeah, we wanted to win overall, but where we got started on the back and they held us back on the flag, we just didn't have enough time to get up front.
I tell you what, though, Rob DeNicolantonio was nipping at your heels. You were nipping at Ashton Rinker's heels. What a great run.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we put on a good show for the crowd, and DeNick's always a tough competitor. And I was fighting with Ashton, wasn't paying a lot of attention, and Gary told me, he said, you better look in your rearview mirror because here comes Rob.
Rob DeNicolantonio finished 4th overall. Jeff Reno finished 5th. Here's Mike with our runner-up in Knoxville. Mike.
Ashton, second place in SST 120, second place overall here at this event. Great weekend for your AMSOIL team. Boy, what was it like? You had Dillard in front of you, you had Proffitt behind you, you were a sandwich.
Oh yeah, I was working really hard. I mean, Brent Dillard had me in and out. Proffitt had me running back and forth. Proffitt's a great driver. He was really working me. Just had to run that same line every time, nice and tight, to keep that motor off me and keep him behind me. And I saw that he was falling back, and then he was coming up strong. So we kept AMSOIL where it needed to be. We'll get it up front for the next race this season.
How about this, race fans? Powerboat Superleague starting off its 2013 season with a tie in the championship points. Knoxville, here's Mike Tilton with your winner.
Brent, first place overall, bunch of good boats out there. You guys came out on top. The water was perfect.
Yes, sir. The clouds cleared and the water was beautiful. It was just like I dreamed it would be. I knew it was going to happen, and it happened. And as soon as he dropped that flag, I got out front, and I didn't look behind. I just kept going and going, and Mike on the radio told me that I was clear, didn't have anything to worry about, just get through lap traffic, and that's all I had to do.
Race fans, we have had an absolutely fantastic time here in Knoxville. After a 13-year absence of Powerboat Superleague racing here on the Tennessee, with all the action we had here today, fans, I'd say it was worth the wait. Congratulations to our Formula 3 winner, Sam Labanco, and to our Formula 2 winner, Brent Dillard. On behalf of the entire RMG Sports crew, I'm Jared Romsberg. Until 2014, race fans, we'll see you on the water.